Hello there, this is the avatar of Farah Ferris, here with an update on the latest information coming out of Constant Hall. Farah is sorry she cannot be here to update you herself. She is working on her Substack and further videos. To begin, let's start with what we know. A decorated United States Army Lieutenant Colonel lost his life while leading and protecting his students. An attacker deliberately targeted future United States military officers in training. Army ROTC cadets physically confronted and subdued the attacker despite the presence of a firearm. The attacker was stopped inside the classroom before police arrived. Their actions prevented a potentially larger mass casualty event. Today, we are examining exactly what happened, who was involved, and why this incident matters far beyond a single classroom. On March 12, 2026, an attack occurred at Old Dominion University in Norfolk, Virginia. The location was Constant Hall, where an Army ROTC class was underway. This was not a random classroom. It was a room filled with cadets training to become commissioned officers in the United States Army. Army ROTC programs train college students to become future officers through a structured military education program focused on leadership, decision-making under pressure, situational awareness, and crisis response. The attacker was identified as Mohammed Baylor Jallo, age 36. He was a former Army National Guard member who had previously been convicted in federal court for attempting to provide material support to ISIS. He served approximately 8 years in federal prison before being released in 2024. Investigators say the attacker entered Constant Hall armed with a handgun. Witnesses reported that he walked into the classroom and asked whether it was an ROTC class. Moments later, he opened fire. Several witnesses also reported that he shouted Allahu Akbar during the attack. Because of the attacker's prior conviction involving ISIS, federal authorities began examining the case under potential terrorism frameworks. The first victim. The person killed during the attack was Lieutenant Colonel Brandon Shah, the ROTC instructor leading the class. Lieutenant Colonel Shah was a United States Army officer and a combat veteran. He previously served as an AH-64 Apache helicopter pilot. His career included deployments to Iraq, Afghanistan, and Eastern Europe. During his military service, he received 17 military awards and decorations. After operational service, Shah returned to academia and became the professor of military science at Old Dominion University. His role was to train and mentor ROTC cadets preparing to become officers in the United States Army. Multiple reports indicate that Shah responded immediately once the attack began. Several accounts suggest he attempted to intervene and move toward the attacker during the first moments of the shooting. Investigators continue reviewing the precise timeline of those seconds, but witnesses consistently describe Shah acting immediately when the threat emerged. The ROTC cadets' response. What happened next is the central reason this incident is receiving national attention. After the shooting began, the cadets in the classroom did not simply remain passive or wait for outside rescue. Several cadets moved directly toward the attacker. A violent hand-to-hand struggle began inside the classroom. During that struggle, one cadet stabbed the attacker while other cadets physically restrained him. 2 cadets were injured during the confrontation with the gunman. Law enforcement officials later stated that the cadets' intervention likely prevented additional deaths. The attacker had already fired multiple rounds, and the classroom contained numerous potential victims. Police officers responding to the emergency call arrived minutes later. When they entered the building, they discovered that the attacker had already been stopped by the cadets themselves. The attacker was not killed by responding police. The attack ended inside the classroom during the physical struggle with the ROTC students. Why this matters. From a military training perspective, the response of the cadets is highly significant. Army ROTC programs emphasize leadership under stress, situational awareness, teamwork, and rapid decision-making during dangerous situations. Emergency response doctrine used across the United States teaches civilians the concept of run, hide, fight during active shooter incidents. In this case, the ROTC cadets effectively executed the fight phase when the attacker threatened the entire classroom. Military analysts note that individuals with structured tactical training are often more capable of recognizing when confrontation becomes necessary to stop further violence. Officials involved in the investigation emphasized that the cadets' response ended the attack before police intervention was required. Their actions significantly reduced the potential casualty count. Why this incident is unique. Several elements make this event historically notable. First, the attacker had previously been convicted of attempting to support ISIS, which is why federal investigators are examining the incident under terrorism-related frameworks. Second, the attacker appears to have deliberately targeted an ROTC classroom. This means the intended victims were future officers of the United States military. Third, the attack was not ended by law enforcement. The attacker was stopped by the students already inside the classroom. Fourth, the cadets' response reflects a fundamental military principle: protect the unit and neutralize the threat. Their training emphasized teamwork, decisive action, and responsibility for the people around them. Ongoing investigation. Federal and local investigators are continuing to examine several key aspects of the case. Authorities are reviewing how a person previously convicted of attempting to support ISIS was released from prison. Investigators are also examining how the attacker obtained a firearm despite being legally prohibited from possessing one because of his felony conviction. A man has already been charged with illegally selling the firearm used in the attack. Investigators reported that the serial number on the weapon had been partially removed, suggesting an attempt to conceal the weapon's origin. Conclusion. This event is being remembered for the courage displayed inside that classroom. A decorated United States Army lieutenant colonel lost his life while leading and protecting his students. An attacker deliberately targeted future United States military officers in training. ROTC cadets physically confronted and subdued the attacker despite the presence of a firearm. The attacker was stopped inside the classroom before police arrived. Their actions prevented what investigators say could have become a much larger mass casualty event. This incident is not only about heroism, it is also a reminder that the individuals training today to become officers in the United States military are already demonstrating the leadership, discipline, and willingness to act when lives are on the line. Bibliography, ABC News. ROTC students subdued and killed Old Dominion University gunman, officials say. March 13, 2026. Associated Press. ROTC students stop gunman at Old Dominion University. March 2026. CBS News. ROTC students credited with stopping deadly Old Dominion classroom shooting. March 2026, ABC 11 WTVD, Latar Cole Brandon Shah, Army officer killed in Old Dominion University shooting, March 2026, Associated Press. Justice Department charges man accused of selling gun used in Old Dominion University shooting, March 2026. Hashtags JAR ROTC, Old Dominion University, JAR Brandon Shah, Military Leadership, JAR Courage Under Fire, Army ROTC, JAR Future Officers, JAR Campus Security, JAR Leadership Under Pressure, JAR Duty Honor Country,